All right guys, this video is a kind of follow-up video from one I made probably about 2 years ago. And I'll link that video down in the description, but it's about the rut. And I wanted to make this video a little bit earlier. I think today is the 19th of October, and we're roughly 2 to 3 weeks away from the rut happening, all throughout the whitetails range, throughout the Midwest, northern states, and on the east side. So roughly all that rut starts between that 25th of October, can go up to about the 15th, 20th of November. There's always a little bit of give and take. But I wanted to follow up with this video and get it out there sooner for you guys for the rut leading into it, because you have all these guys, and this is all about these rut reports you see on social media now. And a lot of them, yes, they may be accurate, but nobody's predicting the rut, right? The rut happens the same time every year. It's just like the hunt that I just got off of for sick deer. The sick deer, the rut happens roughly the mid of October, 10th to the 20th or so. The sick deer rut is a little bit earlier than the whitetail rut, roughly 2 to 3 weeks earlier. It happens the same time. Every time I go down there to hunt the rut is on. It's the same time every single year, give or take a few days, a week or something. So yes, you can get into that. Deer have the second rut and third rut, trickles that you might get a straggle, a doe or something that doesn't get bred until later, and then she has her offspring later into the summer. But in general, that rut is happening from the 25th of October to about the 15th, 20th of November. Those peak days are always the same. It's always the same every single year. And that's going to be right around Halloween. It peaks. I've always had really good Halloween hunts. The 1st of November, 2nd of November, 3rd, 4th, 5th, up to about the 10th is probably about the peak. The later you get into those November days, sometimes it can be a little bit harder to hunt them because they can get locked down with a doe. I've personally seen that many times where the doe will, she'll stand there, the buck will stand there with her. She moves 10 feet, he moves 10 feet. She moves a quarter mile, he moves a quarter mile. So he's with her for those few days, and it could be very hard to hunt and find a buck. Another thing I see is that nobody's predicting this. They put out this content and they're describing what they see on their property. Well, their property is 100% different than your property. It's completely different. A lot of times those properties are 100% managed, there's no pressure, so they may have this extreme rut that they're seeing because they have a good buck to doe ratio and low pressure. That's the main probably one of the main things. And also, there's just properties where bucks want to be, and there's properties where bucks don't want to be. It's hard to predict what a buck's going to do. It's a wild animal, right? So what some person is seeing on their property is not generally what you're going to see. It varies across properties. What one person is seeing on their property an eighth of a mile down the road could be completely different. Where's there a hot doe at? Where's there less pressure? Where's the bucks at? And so forth. So don't get depressed if you're not seeing rutting activity in your property, because it changes so much to where you have a road. Rut on the left side of the road is amazing. Rut on the right side of the road is poor. It's just the way that it goes. Where's that hot doe? Where do the bucks want to be? Where's the hot does at? So it varies across all these different properties. Don't get down if you see somebody making, oh yeah, today I hunted on November 3rd, it was amazing rut. Make sure you hunt on the 4th, because it's gonna, don't follow that. Just realize that the rut is happening no matter what, from the 25th to about the 20th, 15th of November throughout that Midwest, northern states, and here on the east side. Halloween to about the 10th is always great here in Maryland. It's gonna be different, a couple days here and there, depending on weather conditions, pressure, where's the does at, if you have a high number of does, if you have a balanced number between bucks and doe ratios. There's just so many variables, as it's a wild animal. So these people making these rut reports saying, you have to be in the stand on November 1st, blah, 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 because of the moon. No. You get out there, realize the rut is happening whenever you get a chance to go out there, if it makes sense. Don't go in there and screw up a stand and with a bad wind direction because you think it's the rut and you would just want to go in there and risk it. Well, you still have to, play it safe. Yes, you could get lucky and one come running by you pushing a doe. I remember, I hunted one time during the rut. I was for like a week straight, every single day, barely saw anything. I was getting depressed. This was probably 10 years ago. And it was warm out, so I ended up going out to my stand. And as I was pulling my bow up the tree, I heard leaves crackling. I look up, here comes a buck chasing a doe. So I hurried up and pulled my bow up real fast, barely got the release on, and I ended up shooting it. But it happened within 20 seconds. So stuff like that happens, but in general, just realize that the rut is happening no matter what. Yes, you want to hunt, good wind days, keep the pressure low, and cold fronts, weather, conditions coming in, pay attention to all that stuff. But nobody's predicting this, guys. These magazines come out November 4th. You have to be in the tree because the moon aligns with this and then this and then that. No, nobody's predicting it. The rut happens the same time every single year. Without a doubt, it's going to happen. You may not be seeing that rut activity on your property because of many factors. Maybe you hunted it too much. Maybe the bucks just don't want to be there. Maybe you have no does. Maybe you don't have a food source. Maybe you don't have enough cover, or maybe you have too thick a cover where a doe runs into the thick cover and the buck can't get in there because of his antlers bent. He doesn't want to go in there, so he skirts the edge. There's so many factors that play into this. So any questions, leave them down below. Try to help you guys out, give you some ideas or clues maybe for next year or even leading into this rut. We're only about 2-3 weeks away. I'll see you guys on the next video.